It's Maths O'Clock with Mr. Hlajwayo. Welcome to another video. We can look at now some of the examples of proportionality theorem. So now let's say you are given that you are having your this two triangle or these two triangles which are in proportion to each other. So now we are going to say now firstly, what is it that you're going to do if they say you need to solve for x? So now we are going to start by saying, all right, now isn't it that your hk over ki is going to be in proportion with your hl over your lg, right? And your reason behind that is going to be proportionality, which means you're going to say, all right, so now this is going to be now your hk over your ki, and remember you always choose the side that consists of maximum information. It's going to be close to your hl, or rather it's going to be in proportion with your hl and your lg. And what is going to be your reason there? It's going to be proportionality theorem. And why is it proportionality theorem? Because you are given there that your KL is parallel to your JI. KL is parallel to your JI or your IJ, either or, right? So now this is going to be therefore your reason for this. So which means now we are going to go back and say, what is the representation of HK? Your HK is given by X plus 1 over now your KI, it's 5 centimeter, which is going to be close to your 6 centimeter. Your 6 centimeter, you don't have to write the centimeter as yet. Your 6 centimeter over your what? Over your x. And then now what is that you're then going to do? You are then going to cross multiply. So if you are cross multiplying, can you see that you are going to have x plus 1 multiplied by x, isn't it so? Which is going to be equals to then 5 multiplied by 6. And what is 5 multiplied by 6? That is going to give us our 30, right? So now let's continue. So x multiplied by x, it's going to give us what? Let's continue here. This is going to be your x squared plus what is going to be x multiplied by 1? It's going to be x, right? Which is then going to be minus 30, which is going to be equals to 0. And then from here now you then going to, obviously this is your quadratic, then you're going to open two brackets. You're going to have your x, and then now this is going to be equals to your 5. You can use your 5 and also your 6 now, but because you require to have 30, negative 30, and this is positive, so which means basically you're going to have positive here and negative here, which means therefore your x is going to be equals to your 5, or your x is going to be equals to negative 6. But now since you see that this is your negative, right, and you can never have your negative distance, so therefore which means your x cannot be equals to negative 6, which means basically this value of x here is 5. So which means if you can come back and substitute, which means this is going to be this is going to be 6 centimeter, and which means this is also going to be equals to your what, your 5 centimeter, because your x is actually 5 centimeter. This is going to be 6 centimeter because it's going to be this 5 plus 1. So basically that is going to be your first example on this. So now let's examine our example 2. So now we are going to look at our example 2. Remember at the beginning of the video I said it is important that you, every time whenever you are given information there, you come back to your diagram, you then substitute all these given information, right? So now let's start here. They say in the diagram E, H, D, and G are points on side on triangle ABC. They say HG is parallel to AC. They say HG is parallel to AC, which means they're saying now this side here is parallel to this side. Similarly, now they are also saying an ED, which is this side. They say ED is parallel to your what? To your BC. This is parallel to this, which means these sides are also parallel to each other. And what also they're stating is that now your AD over DC, which means now they've ratio. Remember, the 5/3 doesn't necessarily gives us the unit. However, it just gives us the ratio in terms of the relevant ratio of these two sides. So which means your AD, it's going to be 5. So usually I like to abbreviate it with 5x so that I can know that this doesn't necessarily reflect my my actual distance. They say your DC is equals to 3, so this is going to be your 3x. And then now they say your PG, which is this line, is given by 2, so this is going to be 2x, and GC is going to be 1, so I can abbreviate it as my x. Now, and then after that, they say now this long given side here, your AP is given by 24 units. 24 units, which means I go back to my diagram and then I substitute that 24 units so that I can have an understanding on what I need to do. So the first question, they say determine your AE. So now your AE, can you see that your AE, let me check my marker again. Can you see that now your AE, it's this side, right? They say determine what is going to be your value of your AE. So which means I will then use the proportionality of this line, my line AE, together with your what? My line AP. And why am I going to use those two? Because I'm given what is my AP in terms of units, and I also know in terms of what is the proportionality of this side also, right? So which means then I'm going to come back and say now, all right, what is going to be this AE of mine that is required? I'm going to say, okay, AE over over AP is going to be equals to what? It's going to be equals to AD over your what? Your AC. And what is going to be the reason there? It's going to be prop theorem. Why is it prop theorem? Because now already I know that I was given that my ED is parallel to what? To my BC. So this is the reason why I'm concluding. Now what is my AE? My AE is therefore going to be equals to what? My AE is going to be my unknown side over AP. I'm already given that it's 24 units, which is going to be then for equals to what is 80? 80 is going to be my 5x. However, my AC, now remember this is 5 and this is 3, which means all this line combined, it's going to be what? It's going to be my 8x, right? And as you can see that the x and x are going to cancel each other, which means actually my AE is going to be equals to what? I'm going to cross multiply. It's going to be 5 over 8 multiplied by 24. 5 over 8 multiplied by 24. Then I get my my distance of AE. Therefore, my AE is going to be close to 15 units. If my calculations lead me well, this is going to be 15 units, right? Then I've calculated my AE. So now the next question here, let me try and make some space. Now the next question says now it requires me to calculate in terms of what is my AH, what is the relative distance of AH. So now to the distance of AH. So in this regard now, can you see that these two sides are also in proportion to each other, which means now I can still use the proportionality of this side together with your AP, right? So which means I can say, all right, my AH over what? Over AB, because I'm still given in terms of what my AP is going to be in proportion with what? With my GC over CP over CP, and the reason is still going to be my prop theorem. It's going to be proportionality theorem. And why is it going to be proportionality theorem? Because I was given there that actually my side AC, my side AC, my side AC was parallel to what? Was parallel to HG. So that is going to be my reason. So now what is going to be my AH? So my AH is going to be equals to my unknown side over my AB, and my AB is what? It's 24, which is equals to what is your GC? My GC is given by X over what is this other one? So it's going to be X plus 2X, which is going to give you what? 3X. And then you see that these are going to cancel, which means actually your AH, my AH is going to be equals to 1 over 3 multiplied by 24. And what is going to be my 1 over 3 multiplied by 24? This is going to give me, therefore, my AH is going to give me, I think, 8 units. 8 units, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to give me 8 units. So basically, this is how you approach this question. You just check in terms of which side are in proportion with the other one, and check. Always use the side that consists of maximum information. And then now we are going to look at our third example on proportionality. So now we are firstly going to read our information and see what we are given. They say in your cycle O, RQ, this line RQ is perpendicular to PM, which means automatically when they say perpendicular, which means here it's 90 degrees. You don't have to ask, that's a given. And they say ON, ON, so they say now ON is equals to QN. So your ON is equals to QN. So this is actually your O. So this side is equals to this side. And then now what else you are given? You are given that your MR, now your MR over PM, your MR over PM is equals to X. So now they say calculate what is going to be your value of your X. Now you are going, you can realize that actually this question is complex because there is no way that you can use proportionality theorem, at least up until you have proven that these two sides are, or the two sides of this triangle are in proportion, right? So which means you can start by actually now proving in terms of whether are these sides proportion. Now let's start here. Now surely you know that if this is your 90 degrees, now and this line is your diameter because it cuts at the center, which means your angle P is going to be equals to 90 degrees. Why is it so? This is because this is going to be your angle, or rather your angle in your semicircle. In a semicircle, and then the next thing, now what is it that you're then going to do? Can you see, if let's say you label this your R1 and then this your R2, right? So you can say actually your angle R1 also, your angle R1 was indeed also equals to 90 degrees. Was equals to 90 degrees, which means your angle R1 is equals to your angle P, because both of them are equals to 90 degrees. And why? Because this was given to us that your RQ is indeed perpendicular to your PM. This was the information that we were given. And then now after that, you're then going to conclude that therefore your RQ is going to be parallel to your PN because of corresponding angles, right? Because look, your RQ is going to be equal to your PN because can you see that these two angles, this one and this one, are going to correspond, right? So which means you can say now your RQ is going to be parallel to your PM. And why are they going to be parallel? Because of corresponding angles are equal. these corresponding angles are equal, because this is equals to 90 degrees and this is equals to 90 degrees, right? Then now you can now provide a conclusion, and you can now draw a conclusion that actually, which means now your MR, this side MR is going to be also in proportion with your MP, which is this longer side, is going to be equals to, or is going to be in proportion with your MQ over your MN. Now, why is it so? Uh, because you have a line that is parallel to one side, of a triangle. From proportionality, this side is parallel to this side, because these angles are corresponding. Then now which means then now you have proven that now actually this side, this now is actually parallel to this one. Then now you can then come and say, but now from here, can you see that your MO, your line MO is going to be close to your ON. This line MO is going to be close to your ON, because these are your radii, right? So because these are your radii or your radii, can you see? Because MO, this, can you see that it is your radius, and your ON, it is your radius, which means actually these two sides are equal. So which means now actually your which means now your OQ. Now if you go to your OQ, remember this side, your OQ, it was given that your OQ is equals to your QN. So which means now your OQ is going to be equals to your QN, which means they are going to be half a radius, because we were given that this side is equal to this side, which means now you can say this was given to you. And then after that, now you can come back and say, all right, therefore now let's see your MQ over your MN, your MQ your MQ over your what, your MN, your MQ over your MN is going to be equals to what now? What was your MQ? What was your line MQ? Remember, your MQ now is going to be your radius plus half radius, right? So it's going to be your radius plus your half radius, because it is made of this plus this, your MQ, over now this other one is going to be your MN. What is going to be your MN? It's 2 radius, right, or 2 radii, which means it's going to be R plus your another R, right? It's going to be your R plus your another R. So therefore now when you add all of this, what is going to be 1 plus half? 1 plus half gives you 3 over 2R over 2R. Remember, R plus R gives you 2R, right? So now can you see that your R and your R are going to cancel each other? Let me make much more space here. Can you see that 3 over 2 divided by 2? Now these R and these R are going to cancel each other, which means actually you can still rewrite this as what? 3 over 2 multiplied by what? If you change this 2, it can be 2 over 1. Right, and then this is going to give you what? This is going to give you 3 over 4, which means therefore actually which means your X is actually going to be equals to 3 over 4 units, or your X is going to be 3 over 4 because of that basis. And these questions like this are your type of level 4 questions, where they want you to think critically and think outside the box. But one of the most key important thing there that you needed to do was you firstly needed to prove that these two sides are in proportion, and then you work from there. So I think that's it when it comes to your example 3.